Years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, I heard tales of people coming up with strange charges on them that didn't exist, like a false charge that would put you in a sort of state of limbo, like an endless investigation they talked of. You know, I didn't put much weight into it or credibility because none of these people ever provided any proof, any documents, any of it. They just said it was happening. And, you know, you can't go on that. If there's nothing out there that proves what they're talking about, it's just a rumor. It's just bullshit, right? Last weekend, I was sitting here and I was like, you know what? I'm going to run a background check on myself, see what's going on. So I did. I typed in my information and ran a background check on myself. I don't have a criminal record. I'm not a criminal. I didn't have a juvenile record, but I was completely blown away when my record had a strange arrest on it. A strange arrest that appeared as though it was a never-ending open investigation case, basically. I'm going to show you that right now. So I've covered up the data, but this completely freaked me out. And here it is, arrest segment from 2014, you know, right when I began this channel, really. And it's from a local police department for a misdemeanor traffic offense. And it says warrant requested from 2014, but a warrant was never issued for me. It just stayed warrant requested. So what this does is basically make you sort of in limbo, like kind of a fugitive. Pretty weird, right? I went to the police department directly that day. Went to the police department and was like, what the hell is going on with this? I wasn't arrested in 2014. I wasn't arrested in your city. And they looked it up and they were like, yeah, you weren't. So I had to bring all of that data, print it out in full and bring it up to them so that they could email to the state police and tell them to remove it from my record. And isn't it strange that there is no data received? Judicial segment, no data received, and it's just this weird charge from 2014. And as far as me looking the number of the misdemeanor charge up, I've looked up the charge number and it doesn't exist in the state of Michigan at all. So I didn't record the first time when I was angry, but I recorded the second time when I went back there to show them the data. I'm going to play you that now. So once they realized that I wasn't a fugitive, this is what they had to say when I showed them the paperwork. That's what I have from that, and that's it.
Okay, so we already have a copy of your license and your phone number.
Okay.
So as soon as our supervisor let us know that he sent the email, we'll give you a call and let you know. Usually
okay, great.
Once he sends that email within like 24 to 48 hours, it's removed and you're good to go after that.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Great. Okay, thank you. So that's what happened. And they did call me and they let me know that it was removed. So after 24 or 48 hours, you're good to go. But this happened to me. This is real. And this was a false charge of nothing with no data inputted that literally puts you in a state of limbo. Now, an open charge, it's literally an open case. What if you were taking a child on some trip for school and they did a background check on you and saw that? What if you were trying to buy a firearm? What if you were doing anything? That limits what you could do. And when it came back and they said no, you would have no idea why. And that's why it is so important that people out there do a background check on themselves. Do it, because you would be surprised at what pops up. If something does pop up and it's false like this, I should not have that on my record. And according to the computer, it had been there since 2014 and I had no idea it was there. So that's how important it is to do a background check on yourself, because I thought I was totally cool. I was like, I don't have a criminal history. My background is clean. And it turned out that I had an open case against me. That is insanity. Like flat out insanity. So truly, according to the law, you are like in a state of limbo, like an open case, a never-ending open case that would list you as a sort of a semi-fugitive, warrant requested. You know, I've been on road trips since then, And imagine being pulled over by, an out-of-state cop, and they run your background and see that, there's a warrant pending on you. You look like trouble, even though you're not. That is dangerous. That is dangerous shit. And I have no idea how it happened, but they did remove it. And I'm going to keep checking my background to make sure that this does not happen again. And you should too. So when people were talking about that before, they may or may not have had, a reality experience, but it is real. Now, what they did was they blamed it on a cop. And they said, well, if you were pulled over, the cop may have inputted something wrong as an arrest. And this continued on. But it never went anywhere because there was no information. But I don't believe that to be the case. In fact, I'm going to call them and find out what the charge number is exactly, just so I know. And it's imperative that people know about this and know that it can happen. So I implore everybody out there to go to your state police website and do a background check on yourself, because I thought I was totally cool and I totally wasn't. And there was no reason for me to not be totally cool. It was freaky. It was totally freaky. And it had been there by the computer, it had been there for almost a decade. So do it for real. And that's it for now. Look out for Charlie.